to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name is Hussein. Happy to be with you. Happy you can be with me. Wow, everything looks so backwards because this is on that side and that's on this side. Oh, yeah. You know what I did? I mirrored my camera. So you're seeing things opposite of the way they are. I wonder if I can fix that. I don't know if I can. Can I? Let me see, camera. Okay, mirror. Oh, there you go. Okay, see, because that's supposed to be over there, and this is supposed to be over there. So I was really concerned about Pinky because, you know, all right, I've never said anything, but maybe it's time that you guys know that Pinky is dyslexic. That means Pinky sees things backwards. Sees it, like when looking at things, sees things backwards. And so it's a little bit difficult for him when he needs to have the stability of things being the way they are all the time, consistently. And are you dyslexic too, Tiger? We see right. Well, the best thing to do, Tiger, is to become an Arab because we do everything backwards, including we write backwards. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I'm not making fun of it, by the way. I'm just. But in Arabic, we do. The Arabic is written backwards. So, actually, I heard somebody say that if you look at the Euphrates River, that the languages east of the Euphrates River all write from right to left, whereas the nations west of the Euphrates River all write from left to right. And this reminds me of a joke, a Golda Meir joke. Okay, Golda Meir was the prime minister of Israel during the Six-Day War. No, not the Six-Day War. During the Yom Kippur War in 1973. And Henry Kissinger was the U.S. ambassador to Israel at that time. And he went to Israel and met with Golda Meir. And he was very, very strict about the fact that he did not intend to be manipulated because he was Jewish. And so he said to Golda Meir, he said, you know what, Madam Prime Minister, that it's important that you understand that, first of all, I am Secretary of State. Secondly, I am an American. And thirdly, I am a Jew. And Golda Meir said, oh, that's okay, because we read from right to left. So she was very witty, so very, very popular. Anyway, guys, what do you think of my AI? Samson. I had to do it before Sam does it, because he's got a much more right to do that than I do, because it's very close to his name, Shamoun, Sam Shamoun. In Arabic, Samson is Shamshun. I'm not sure how it is pronounced in Hebrew. So anyway, I just saw a little thing about the Islamic Samson. And I don't know. I've never heard about Samson in Islam. So I thought it'd be interesting to see what it says. And then I thought, oh, excuse me. That might be kind of interesting. We're just going to read this article together. And if there's any Muslims who are here who would like to come on, we welcome you to come on. Let me see. Invite. Okay, this invite, you guys, is for Muslims. Please leave it for Muslims. If any Muslim wants to come up and debate any topic, Islam has a Shamunian, I mean Samson. Actually, it doesn't. And then, which is kind of interesting. That's what kind of interesting about this article. Let's just go ahead and we could just read this together because, Muhammad took most of his info from the Jews and Christians, of course. There's lots of Old Testament characters in the Quran. Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, David, Solomon, Moses. There's a reference to Saul, but Saul has a different name. I think Tabut or something like that. Talut. And there's even the giant Goliath. I think he is Talut. And so there's several Old Testament figures in the Quran. Muhammad got a very surface understanding of them, and he got bits and pieces of their stories, but then he messed up almost every story. He messed up. You could tell he heard something and then kind of twisted it in his messed up illiterate brain and came up with the crazy stories that are in the Quran, either in the Quran or in the Hadith. And so Samson actually did not make it into the Quran, luckily for him. But there are some verses that people think, you know what, this looks like Samson. So anyway, I thought this article kind of was interesting. So let's just read this together here. It says, most people today may only recognize the Samson figure in the story of Samson and Delilah. In fact, the figure of a powerful hero has been around for thousands of years ago in Islam. Now, this should right here tell you, first of all, about the author. Number one, his English sucks. His English sucks. Okay. In fact, the figure of a powerful hero has been around for thousands of years ago in Islam. Oh boy, yeah. Where do we start with the mistakes in that? Because I was a writer, professional writer for many years, I'm very aware of the grammatical disaster that this sentence is. But that aside, first of all, one thing that we could definitely needs to be corrected. Thousands of years ago in Islam has only been around for 1,400 years. So Islam has not been around for thousands of years. Christianity has, Judaism has, but Islam has not. It's only 1,400 years old. Okay. The figure of the Muslim legend is a prophet named Shamun. The full name of the prophet is Shamun el-Ghazi, has a miracle, can soften the iron, and destroyed down the palace. This person really, man, his English. I mean, I could just see in my mind, him being from the Middle East and talking, but his English is bad. As the story of the prophet. Okay, so there's apparently a figure that they consider to be Samson. One is called Shamun el-Ghazi, and his miracle is that he softens the iron and destroyed down the palace. Let's just excuse me, guys. Let me go to the Quran and see if I see in Arabic the name Shamun al-Ghazi. I'm curious now. I mean, I've looked for the name. I haven't been able to find it. Shamun al-Ghazi. Oh, Lat al-Uzza al-Manat. Safa and Marwa. I don't see anything that says anything about a Shamun or Shamshun or something like that. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. I don't see it. So let's just go back to the what this article says. Has a miracle that he can soften the iron and destroy down the palace. As the story of the prophet, when he knocked down the palatial palace with his hands, he killed many people unjustly, and Shamun was killed at that time. Now, where is this story? Where is this story? Just because I can't find it in the Hadith or in the, definitely not in the Quran, but even in the Hadith, I could not find it. So if anybody knows about this, I'd be interested to find out the story of Shamun al-Ghazi, the background of the night. Now, this has to do now with Laylat al-Qadr, okay? Nabi al-Ghazi is Shamun al-Ghazi is one of the prophets sent by Allah to earth, especially the children of Israel. Although the name is Shamun, is not included in 25 prophets who must be believed, but he should still be known to Muslims. It is even mentioned that he is the background of the night Laylat al-Qadr. Okay, who is Shamun al-Ghazi? Shamun al-Ghazi came from the children of Israel, was sent by Allah in the Roman land. Okay, first of all, Samson was around long before there were Romans. Okay, he was like, about how long before Jesus? Approximately around 900 years before Jesus. So there were no Romans yet. Okay, but Muhammad was very challenged in his chronology and stuff. Shamun was a long-haired hero who had a sword-like weapon made from the jawbone of a camel. Wonder where he got that idea, from the jawbone of a camel. It was the jawbone of a donkey that Samson used to kill those Philistines. Okay. Quoting the book 99 Intellectual Satisfiers and Teenage Faith by Wulan Mulia Pratiwi. One day, Muhammad saw gathered with his friends for the holy month of Ramadan. Muhammad suddenly smiled. But you guys beware when he smiles. It's something bad is coming. He smiled by himself, and the friends asked, what made him to smile? It was shown to me on the last day that all humans were gathered in the Padang Masyar, not Masyar like Muhammad Hijab hotel wedding. This is Masyar, not Misyar. Okay. One day, where's Masyar? There was a prophet who carried a sword and did not have a single follower entering heaven. He was Shamun. Prophet Shamun was known as a courageous hero who was blessed with miracle of softening iron and tearing down palaces. So that's his gift, okay? He was able to kill the enemies of the disbelievers by himself. Thousands of disbelievers successfully knocked out alone, and of course, with the permission of Allah. Ibn Abbas confirmed the angel Jibreel narrated the story of a former person named Shamun al Ghazi to Muhammad. He had fought against the disbelievers for 1,000 years, armed only with the camel beard hair. Yo, boy, yay. Even though he used camel beard hair, when he swiped it at the disbelievers, countless of them were killed. If he even felt thirsty, he would just simply drink the fresh water that came from between its jaws. And if he was hungry, flesh grew up from his body and he ate it. Yeah, boy, yeah, yeah, boy, yeah. Now, there is the story about where a place called Ain Hachur, where Samson one time was very thirsty. He had just killed 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of a donkey. And then he got really thirsty and he prayed to God and said, after this great victory, are you going to let me die of thirst? And then water came out from a rock. And so now you can see Muhammad got bits and pieces of the story, but didn't really know how to fit the pieces together. It's like having a puzzle with the pieces backwards and upside down. Okay, Muhammad, the power of Shamun was in the background, was revealing of the night of Laylatul Qadr. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty interesting. Now, here seems to be a little bit of the story of, oops, I'm not even showing this to you guys. Sorry about that. A little bit of the story of Samson and the Delilah. Now, I don't know where these stories are, you guys. They say this is in Islam. I looked in the Hadith, looked in the Quran. I cannot find it. If anybody finds it, please let us know. Okay. It says here that this is the woman who was with Shamun. Okay. He survived throughout 1,000 months or 83 years and 4 months. Okay. The disbelieving enemies were helpless in the face of Shamun's attacks, and they tried to persuade Shamun's wife to trap him. Okay, I think this is where Delilah comes in. We will reward you with some treasures if you can kill your husband. And those who tried to persuade Shamun's wife. I am a woman, how can I kill him? Replied Shamun's wife. The Philistines told her, we will give you a strong rope, tie your husband's feet and hands while he's sleeping. Then after that, we will kill him. So she tied him while he was asleep, and when he woke up, he was surprised. Shamun said, who tied me with this rope? I tied you just to test the extent of your strength, said his wife. Then Shamun immediately pulled his hand, and the rope was immediately cut. Okay. So after that, they came to his wife with an iron chain, and Shamun fell asleep. His wife again tied Shamun with the iron chain. All right, you guys. Well, all right. Well, there you have it. And there's lots of in the Quran. Oops. Here's the end here. Then Allah gave him a revelation. Oh, Shamun, what do you want? I will grant it, and I will avenge them. Shamun said, oh, I only want to get you to give me strength so that I can move the pillars of the house and destroy them all. Then Allah gave him strength, and he was able to move his body. Immediately the pillar was destroyed, and the house was destroyed, and the roof fell on the disbelievers. All perished, including his disbelieving wife. Only Shamun himself survived, thanks to the help of Allah. Okay, so it's very obviously that this is about Samson. And it's very interesting. And so, wow. All right, you guys. Well, I was just going to do a short little thing here tonight. Yeah, trash is true, truly trash. Muhammad would hear stuff, and then he'd forget half of it. Ibn Kathir does recount the biblical Samson story in his Qasas al-Anbiya, but he explicitly labels it as Jewish tradition, not Islamic revelation, and he does not call Samson a prophet. Okay. Okay. Hey, Truth Defender, God bless you, brother. Good to see you. All right. Now, somebody was saying something about Samson, that he was bad or the worst, and he may have been. I don't know. I'm kind of torn between him and Jonah, but there is one thing about Samson. I just want to say that he was kind of you know what though. Somebody says he was the worst judge. You know what? There's another judge named Gideon. And Gideon, God gave him this tremendous, tremendous victory over I believe it was the Ammonites or Midianites, and gave him this amazing victory. And then Gideon went out and got all of the spoils, the gold, the silver, and everything. And then he took it and he went and built an ephah, which is like an idol. After everything God did for him, he went and built an idol. And it says that, so he brought idolatry to Israel. Just a terrible thing he did. So I kind of wonder if he's not the worst judge. There were supposedly 12. And but Samson, he was one of the judges. He was bad because he was so immoral. And he'd always go to the prostitutes and everything. And so, he had, of course, a very violent temper. And so, anyway, but you know what? At the end of his life, he did, when he was put in the temple to entertain them, and he prayed. He repented and prayed and says, please strengthen me this one more time to destroy this house on the heads of my enemies. Let me perish with my enemies. That's what he said. And God granted him his request, and he did die. So he made it into the book of faith, which is Hebrews chapter 11. He's mentioned there. There's only very few people mentioned in that book. That book includes Abraham, Moses, Rahab, and Rahab, by the way, yes, she was married to an Israelite and bore a son. Her son's name was Boaz. So, yeah. So there you go, you guys. A little bit about Samson in Islam. And so thank you so much for being with us. And if you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Yesur sa'idni. Yesur samahni. Yesur udkhul qalbi. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.